Hey, so we are now live. If you would like, hey, welcome to Can't Coders, our Tuesday night coding session. If you'd like to join the Zoom, hop on to slack.cantoncoders.org and join our Zoom tonight. If you're on the Zoom call and you wouldn't like to be rebroadcast to the internet, just make sure that your mic is off and your camera is off. If not, everyone on the Zoom call has already consented to be recorded because Zoom is prompting you for that. If you're trying to get involved in our community, we're 100% free and we're focused on your happiness. But Scott, that was the whole script before we start coding tonight. So do you just want to drop into
Gotcha.
coding?
Sure. Yeah. I'll just do a quick intro and kind of explain what's going on. So tonight, we're going to talk about this really cool tool called approval tests, which is a great way to start to get legacy code or basically untested code under some tests that allow you to refactor it. And then once we get that done, then we're going to do some refactoring for understanding of the code in this particular kata. And from there, hopefully we'll get it to a point where it's going to become easier to change over time. I don't know if we'll get all the way to the point where we're going to introduce the change it's asked for in the kata. Maybe we'll save that for another Tuesday night.
Hey Scott, how do
But
you?
anyway,
Oh, sorry.
mm-hmm.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, go
how do you
ahead.
want to be interacted with tonight?
Yeah, so I love to code with other people, and Zoom's pretty good medium for doing remote mob programming or even pair programming. So if anybody wants to code with me, just let me know, and I will put you on a rotation, and then we'll kind of rotate through a mob together and work through this.
Great. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. What else were you saying in your normal
Well, I was
intro that I ruined?
just gonna say, for those that don't know me, my name is Scott Hammer. I am a software engineering coach, and I just like coding with people, and kind of teaching practices or practicing practices with others. So happy to code with anybody else, and if not, we're at least going to do a demo tonight. So if I have any volunteers, just shout out and I will add you to the list. Otherwise, we can get started.
I'll be happy to volunteer if you'd like to not code completely alone. But we do have people
Doesn't
on the
matter.
Zoom call, and it doesn't matter if you want to just passively listen and learn. Is that okay, Scott?
Yeah, that's fine too. Yep. There's no shame in that. And in fact, if we're going along a little ways and you feel like you want to join in later, you can join the mob at any time. So why don't we go ahead and get started? At least so the internet can see what's up, right?
I think we have
Um,
people on the internet, by the way. I just can't find them.
Hi everybody. Hi internet. Okay, so I just want to show you real quick in my Gradle file the libraries I'm using here. Really, I'm just using straight up JUnit 5 Jupyter, basically for doing unit tests, and then I'm adding this one additional library. It's called approval tests, and there's a website out there. You search just very interestingly for approval tests, and you'll find that this is uh, a set of libraries that have been created to provide this capability across many different programming languages. So you can use this in Java, of course, but you can also use it in JavaScript, C#, I want to say Golang, and probably about 13 other different languages. So people are constantly putting implementations of this library out there. I learned how to use it from Emily Bache. I actually attended one of her webinars. I was using it a little bit before, but Emily gave me some great insight into even better ways to use this. So the kata we're going to do is called the song kata. And I found this, that's the internet editor view. Here we go. I found this out on the interwebs. Basically, there was a group called the London Code Dojo that did this for one of their coding sessions. And the guy named Sleepy Fox pulled this together. So what you're going to see tonight is a copyright Sleepy Fox, but it's under a CCA license. And so I pulled that CCSA license. So I pulled that license into this repo as well. So anybody can share it. Just need to attribute it back to Sleepy Fox. But effectively, the objective for this is really to take this class that basically prints out a nursery rhyme. And if you've seen it, it's the one about the, well, I'll just show it to you in a sec here. Here it is. There was no lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die, right? So it's actually a great children's book done by this. Very nice. But anyway, you can see this is kind of long. It's very repetitive, right? These people who implemented this just kind of did it as one long string and sent that standard out. So we're going to work with this and we're going to refactor it to the point where it's changeable, because our customer wants to be able to replace the animals, that are appearing in this thing at some point, given another set of animals to redo this poem. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to change this into real code. Okay. But first, we have to see what the tests look like. So I'm going to run the existing tests in the IDE here, IntelliJ, and I'm running it with coverage because I want to show you that we have 0% coverage here. See, look at that. This song class, 0% methods, 0% out of one method, and of course 3 lines of code, so 0%. This whole thing is treated as a single line of code. All right, so we've got completely untested legacy code here. So let's look at what kind of tests these people left for us. Well, here it is, public class song tests. We don't need no stinking tests. All right. Thanks for that. That's a blast from our past, right? We've inherited this code. Now we've got to work with it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start out by writing an approval test. And really, at a high level, approval tests are kind of black box tests for a piece of code functionality. And they really do kind of like long string or file comparisons really well.
I'm surprised that there wasn't a no test were found warning while running this.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
There wasn't typically when you don't have any test, it'll give you like a warning. Hey, no test was found in this week.
Oh yeah, it did do that. It's down here in the test runner. It says test events were not received.
Yeah, I remember something in the console similar to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's probably something in here on there. Build successful, task to update. Yeah. So we're gonna make it testable, right? And you can do this incrementally. One of the things I was going to mention here, these approval tests, because they're really good at comparing large text files, they're also really good at comparing like huge JSON strings, huge pieces of XML, and other types of textual file format. Haven't had an opportunity to do any sort of binary comparisons. I'm not sure if the library does that very well, so maybe you can do PDFs. I don't know. But for sure, the text stuff.
Could you export a SQL Server backup file and compare the two with it?
Maybe that might be a good use case. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. Let's write an approval test here, right? So it starts out just looking like a regular JUnit test case. Just going to call it approval tests. We call that a singular. Oh, and I forgot my annotation up here. Okay. Got that going. And before I get going, I just want to see what the output of this thing looks like. So we're actually going to run this real fast. Since it's a Java application. And somewhere in here, we should see the output. I think it's doing a build right now.
And if you want me to pair Scott, just let me know.
Okay.
If you get lonely.
Lonely. Here it is. So basically, here it is right here. It's just putting out this as straight up text. So, and it's printing out standard out. So this is a pretty easy case here to handle for approval tests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect standard out to a string, and then I'm going to compare the string basically against whatever was here previously. So I need a byte array output stream, and I always call this BAOS for some reason. Probably everybody does. And real simple. And then we're going to call system set out new print stream BAOS. And that should now capture the output in a string. And we should be able to kind of run this. And let's see here. Not that one. Okay, let's go to the tests here. And we should see that there's no output here. It's passing, but I don't have an assertion on here, so just ignore that. You can see the output's gone now from standard out. Okay, so it's sitting in this byte array output stream right now. So, or is it? Actually, it's not, because I haven't actually executed anything, so. I made a liar out of myself. Okay, this doesn't really require any args to run. Oops, what am I doing?
You typed in strings, not string.
New string array. And we're going to send an empty one in. And semicolon. Now it should be gathering that output. I'll run it again. Look, it's still gone. So next, all I need to do is take a look at my approvals library right here. There's a verify method. We'll keep this open just to check it out real quick. All kinds of different things we can take a look at here. We can do comparisons on result sets, maps, objects, strings, files. These special things called writers and approvers that we can create. But you can see, actually, this is a very capable thing. We can do lots of interesting stuff with this particular library. Look at that, Bill. Even a SQL loader. We can use compare a couple loaders. All right, so in this case, though, what we want to do is verify the results that are stuck in our byte array output stream to string. Okay, and boom, that's our test. Now, when I run this, what it's going to do is it's going to compare what the output it receives to the output that we've previously had. In this case, we haven't had anything before, and so we'll show you what that initial case looks like. So here we go, running the tests. Oops. Okay, here's something else I need to do. So by default, for some reason on my machine, it uses VS Code as a diff engine. And so here's the diff engine. You'll notice that we've got this new text here. It's trying to compare with this text over here, which is the approved. And of course, it doesn't exist. And because of that, it's failing because these two things don't match. So I'm going to close this and show you in the file system what should have happened. What happened here? Oh, here we are. Okay, we're over here. So in the file system, two files were created, right? One is this approved file, and this is the one that's empty because we've never run the test before. And the other one is the receive file, which contains the output that we captured in the byte array output stream, right? So now what I have to do is basically approve this output as our starting case, right? And then from then on, it's going to compare the output against this file. So there's an easy way to do it. I can just simply rename received to approved.txt, but we can also do it with the diff tool. So let me show you one other feature here that's actually very helpful with approval tests. So you can pick your merge tool that you'd like to use. In this case, I don't want to use the VS Code that popped up there because it just confuses me. So I can do use reporter, and I can specify my own reporter. And I think there's an IntelliJ, there's an IntelliJ reporter that I can specify here. And now what that'll do is it'll report the results into the test output. Notice here in the test output, I've got a little bit here. It's not very well formatted, so I can't make a whole lot of sense out of it. I'm going to rerun this again, and we should see a little better output down here. All right, failed approval, approved. Okay, now that it's keeping me within the IDE, which is where I want to be. I don't want to pop out so much. So now all I have to do is just diff these files, compare files, right? So here's my received text, here's the approved text. And if I want to approve this text, boom, I do that. I save, run my test again, and now it's going to compare against that output, and you see that our test passes. Excuse me. So what did that give us? Now, remember our code coverage up here, it was at 0% before we started, and now our coverage is
Quarterly bonus.
100%, right? So that's good. That's a great starting point for refactoring. Now we've got a little bit of a safety net. If we screw up and change the behavior of this thing, we're going to find out right away with our approval test. So that makes it safe for us to start refactoring. All right. Everybody with me on that? Any questions about that approval test?
We got thumbs up in the chat.
That is excellent. I see Incy is with us. Hi, Incy.
Lindsay had a long day at work, she said, so I don't know how much she's with us.
Okay. No sweat. All right. So how do we make sense out of this mess here, right? So this is our mess. As I look at it, you know, one of the first things you want to do with refactoring is just kind of look at it and see if you can pick a couple of things out. In this case, we know it's this big long string. But as I read through it, there's a lot of repetitiveness. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. There was an old lady who swallowed a spider, who swallowed a bird, swallowed a cat, right? So it looks like there's something we can extract out of that. There's these lines, like she swallowed the bird to catch a spider, swallowed the spider to catch a fly, that are somewhat repetitive and have just some slight changes, right? So we know we're going to target those. It looks like this last line is pretty consistent throughout the thing until the very end. So there's a little bit of, it looks like things change quite a bit on that last case. So I'm starting to get a sense that I have at least 3 cases I want to try to handle here, and I'll try to extract probably at least one at a time. So one, it looks like this beginning case is interesting because it doesn't have any lines like this. And it finishes pretty quickly in just 2 lines, right? So I think I can extract this, gain some value out of it. I think also I might try to extract the final case too, because it's so much different than everything else. And then I think the strategy after that is to kind of pick off each of these cases one at a time and see where that gets us. I think we're going to get a little bit of reuse out of this first one here. And then once we hit here, we'll probably get some reuse out of this one. And then maybe a few times in, we'll have a pretty good sense of what the pattern is that'll allow us to figure out the algorithm here for this thing. Okay, so how can I bust this out? Well, first, structurally, I don't like the fact that it's all sitting in this main method here in a Java application. So I think the first thing I want to do is move, well, I'm going to extract this as a method, and then I'm going to move that out into another class. So I can work with an instance instead of a static context. So I think I'm just going to highlight all this. And I'm going to use my refactoring tools and get to them here. Extract method. And what do we want to call this? This is kind of like generate lyrics. It's supposed to be sung as a song. So, all right. Okay, there we go. So now let's pop that out as a static method. Now I can still use my refactoring tools to pull this out into another class. So what I'm going to do here is do a refactor, move members. I'm going to use this class here. What's a good name for this class? Maybe song generator. Okay, that doesn't exist. So IntelliJ is going to say, hey, what's up, man? We'll create this class song generator. We're in the default package right now. So I'm going to make sure it goes into the main source root. Okay, so it created my class for me up here. That's cool. Now, got the right method here. Let's go ahead and pull that in there. Refactor, boom, there it goes. All right, I always like that here. If I go back and look at song now, look, song is really simple right now, right? Down to 2 lines of code. One quick thing, I didn't do this so far, but I should be running these tests often, right? Each time I make a small change. These changes I'm making with the IDE are pretty safe, and usually they don't cause problems. So here we are. We're still in the green state here with our approval test. So back here, there's one thing I don't like here. I don't like working that static context. So I'm going to refactor again here, and I want to convert to an instance method. Refactor that. Boom, I'm an instance method. Now something really cool probably happened back here because I love this capability right now. Now it's also converted that from a static, right? It's creating a new instance of song generator and printing it out right there. So even this I don't like so much. I might want to inline this thing. Refactor, inline variable. Okay, boom. We're down to 1 line of code in the song. All right. And just to be sure, running our tests, we're still good. Okay. Now back to song generator. What did I say I wanted to do here? Pardon me.
We got some comments out there. Some people have never seen IntelliJ use the refactoring tools.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh, these are beautiful. They're gold. Let me see what's in the chat here.
It was just that one remark.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
And if there's a lot, I think 4 or 5 people joined. If you want to interact with Scott, Scott, do you bite? You can come off camera, you can come off mute, and just interact with Scott, interrupt him, right?
Yeah. Feel free to just ask me questions in line. I handle those well, and I made the offer before. If you've joined us and you missed it, anybody who wants to code in this, I'm happy to pull you in, do some modding with you if you want to get some experience doing these things too.
And there's a request to show how to do the keyboard shortcuts while that happens.
Keyboard shortcuts. Okay. So far, I've just been using my mouse most of the time, doing right-click menus so far. There are a few keyboard shortcuts I'll use when I start importing things or taking on suggestions. You'll see some of those as we go along.
Cool.
I'll try to call them out when I do them. Okay, so here's something, right? So we've got this giant string here. I want to extract out this part here. And then I want to handle that up above the rest of this string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick off this part right here and pull it into another string. I think I'm also going to introduce a string buffer to kind of gather these things up. And then at the end, we'll return the contents of the string buffer down here instead of this one variable. Okay, so how do I introduce a string buffer? Let's try it like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to intercept this thing at the top, basically. I'll call it SB because I do equals new string buffer. All right. And what I will also do, just to make it a smaller step, is I'm going to add the contents of song into string buffer. Okay. And then here, instead of returning song, I'm going to return sb.toString. Okay. See what I did there? So basically all I've done so far is just pump this whole string into a string buffer. And that's going to help me start to build these things out incrementally as we go along. Okay, so let's run this, make sure everything's still kosher with it. Looks good. Okay, now I'm in a position where I can extract some stuff out here. So let's say I take this part right here. We're going to do an extract method. So I'm wondering if context actions. So let's try something here. Escape out of that. There's a keyboard shortcut called Option Enter, I think it is. There we go. So Option Enter is really going to pull up the menu that I usually use this to pull up.
So do you know the Windows equivalent of Option Enter?
I think it's Alt Enter.
Alt Enter for Windows, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to extract method, and the method I'm going to have is, let's see, has to do with the first, what is it, stanza?
Sure.
No, let's call it stanza. First stanza, right? Okay, so first stanza is really just going to return that part of the string here. Now I'm going to do another thing is I'm going to take that and move it over to my string buffer. Append first stanza. And then I can take this out. And I think that should run again. So let's just try that to make sure that's cool. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we haven't done too much yet, but let's go back down to this new method. And typically, as I'm looking through all these, I would be doing commits each time I got to a nice green state. But I don't think I'm going to do that tonight, just in the interest of time, to make sure we can go through as much of this as we want to. If we do start mobbing, we will have no choice. We will have to do commits to trade off code.
Hey, Scott, I'm in the background and I'm trying to get some people to pair program with you. If they don't know Java at all, do you commit to helping them?
Yeah.
Is there anything like stupid syntax questions for you?
There are no stupid questions. So I'm pretty tolerant of any question.
So if you're the person I'm negotiating in the background, come code with Scott.
Yeah.
Hello,
so
Scott.
if you've done, yay.
I'm Kai, by the way. I'm actually a senior computer science student. Yeah, I didn't learn Java in school though. Yeah, we learned Python and C++. But I do have one question.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering why you using string buffer here. I just look it up. You can also use a string builder, right?
String builder. Yeah, I've just used string buffer because that was the first thing I thought of, honestly.
Okay, it works too,
Yeah.
right? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right,
We could always refactor over to that if we want to. Okay, and let me get your name again. Wenkai?
Yes.
All right, I'm just writing it down so I can figure out my rotation. All right.
The string buffer is the advantage of streaming, right? If you're using a streaming service or something like that, maybe that's why you might use the string buffer.
So you might use the string buffer if you're doing streaming,
I
not
mean,
like video streaming, but like data streaming.
Yeah, I mean it's a buffer, right? That's what like I know the string builder is meant to conserve it's meant to conserve space. It's a little bit smarter than if you just concatenate the string. It's more I think it's more pessimistic with the way it increases the memory. Like it will double the memory every time it's memory allocated every time it hits its limit. Where I think the string is just like, hey, I just add it will keep adding, and that is kind of more like it becomes more expensive, especially if you keep increasing your string. Like every time you increase your string, like you concatenate, it reallocates. But the string builder, it doubles the size, so it doesn't have to keep allocating. I mean, but buffer, I think, is something else, right?
I think that's really interesting. Yeah, sorry, Scott. Doesn't mean to interrupt. I actually look up the difference, but it says actually string builder it's actually more efficient than string buffer.
Okay. Well, I'm willing to switch over to that.
Scott only has 32 gigs of RAM.
Yeah. And it's slowly going away over time, right? Let's see. I'm on a green state, so what I can do is commit this up. All right, so we've added quite a bit of stuff here. Whoops. Okay. Oh, we don't want this received thing, so we want to add that to ignore. Okay, it deleted it anyway, but I need to add that to Git Ignore real quick.
Hey Scott, let's Git Ignore while you do this. Some people haven't
Git
seen
Ignore
refactoring tools.
Helps us.
This might be new.
Yeah, Git Ignore is how we tell Git which files we don't want included in a repository. So what I want to do is exclude anything that is this star dot. Oops. For some reason, IntelliJ thinks I want it to add every file to Git. I usually like to add them myself, but okay, so hopefully that's going to remove this received thing. So I'm going to show you how to do a code handoff here. So before I do that, Wenkai, do you have like IntelliJ installed? Were you able to pull down the repository and get that going?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what I need to do is push this up to our repo. Let me see if I have it.
Wenkai, do you wanna code? Because I think the football's coming your way.
Okay, yeah, I'll code. Yeah,
if you're ready.
If you can share your screen though, or describe what you're doing in vivid color.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you take it over. I'll help you through some of this stuff.
And I made you a co-host, so you should be able to share.
Okay. What's the repository link?
Let me pull it out of Slack over here.
I mean, I think he's like technically you're able to just request remote control on God's computer, but it's kind of laggy. It might be laggy, but
yeah.
Wenkai, I just sent you it in Slack.
Yeah, I see it. I'm not sure if I have the IntelliJ.
It's
Oh
okay
yeah,
if
I
you
do.
don't. We can just.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yes. Let me share
Okay.
my screen.
What kind of
Why
computer
don't
science
you-
student doesn't have IntelliJ?
Come
What
on,
are
I don't
you,
use
VI
Java.
Emacs?
I use VS Code.
You know what Scott used back when he did computer science?
Yeah,
What
I
did you
mentioned
use,
that
Scott?
earlier.
VI?
Hold on. I don't even know how to use IntelliJ, honestly. I haven't used it for a long time.
Mhm.
Like,
It's okay if you use Notepad. We all use Notepad yeah, sometimes, you know.
can you guys see my screen?
No, we can't.
You
Can't see it.
That's the first time in a week I've actually been able to say, no, I can't.
How about now?
Yeah, we got you now.
We can see
Okay.
half of it, though.
Okay, let me open a new window.
You may be able to do new project from version control.
Yep. That's
Okay,
what,
let me
yep.
let me get 1 second.
Yeah.
And when Kai, we exist to help people learn. So, Scott, this might, Scott, are you bothered by this?
No, I do this just about every day with my katas at work, so it's not a big deal. We find that when you're mobbing together, you get a lot of people kind of looking at the problem at the same time. Somebody's probably seen it before, and we usually resolve the issues faster.
So if you go up to IntelliJ at the top, you can click on new and do existing project from source control. You'll then be able to slap in that Git link, but not the one I sent you, because you got to click on GitHub and get the actual Git link.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second.
That's fine. I know you got to turn off your Snapchat, your TikTok, whatever the seniors in computer science use these days. Right, Scott? Close the IRC.
Oh, it sucks. I can't copy the thing.
Here you go. Try that.
Thank you for the patience, guys.
Hey, the best thing you can have when it's being a software developer is a sense of humor and patience, right?
What?
Hey, Scott, while he does this,
Yeah.
Where do you store your dad jokes?
I don't have to store them. I use a service.
I store mine in my database.
Database? Oh gosh, yeah. I didn't realize it was an actual dad joke. I thought it was a serious question.
Dad
I have
service,
a dad joke app is what I have, and it's backed by a web service, a microservice.
I heard that I heard that sometimes if you have a DAS, it's a real pass.
How can I import that repository? Which
so
one?
Project from version control.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you should be able to put the Git link.
Yep. I already cloned that to a directory actually.
Oh, okay.
Just open that.
You can do
then
import.
Yeah, you can import. Oh. Yeah,
Scott
because you'll want to. Yeah.
How can I import that?
Try from existing sources up there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then navigate to that folder.
Gotcha.
And we'll treat it as a Gradle project that'll help you get your.
Which one should I use? Gradle or Maven?
It only has Gradle in this particular project, yep. So you're still on a different project here.
He's only sharing the old IntelliJ. So Tan, you need to. I mean, Wankai, you need to share the new IntelliJ thread. We're seeing the old IntelliJ thread.
1 second.
Conference demo.
Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. So import that as Gradle. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you ever want to see an argument at work with Java developers, tell them that Maven is better than Gradle.
It's not.
I don't even know what's the difference.
It really doesn't matter.
It's just two build frameworks. Yeah.
Just remember the Maven's the better one.
Okay.
All right.
If you're old school, right?
Jerry's jumped out of the bathtub now. He's getting engaged.
Yep. Okay, so if you open up actually under the test folder.
The test folder.
Yeah, right click that little Java folder name. Just right click it. Put your cursor over Java. Hold on. So go back to the Java folder. Just put your cursor right over top of Java. And I don't see run as. Oh, now, okay, there it is. Now it's green. Okay, you're good. Yeah, you should be able to see. Okay, try it one more time. Okay, part of this menu.
You're breaking up, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so escape out of this menu. Right click on Java itself there, test Java on that folder.
Test Java itself.
Right there, right click. And unfortunately, I don't see your.
He hasn't imported everything yet in the background. You see that down?
Oh, it's still working on. Oh, it's indexing. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, let's wait for the Gradle sync to finish.
So you see at the bottom where you have that bar loading one
The
guy?
GDK the loading here bar. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it doing here?
It's building some things in the background.
Okay. Yeah, the Java is kind of different from JavaScript, Python, and
yeah, JavaScript is like a car. Like Java is like carpet.
Okay.
Let's see, you're on main down there too. So one of the things you want to do, if you look down on the lower right, you'll see that you're on branch main.
Yep.
Switch that to can coders, origin can coders. There you go.
Just check out that right? One.
Yep. That'll give you the code that I've already done.
Okay. Okay. IntelliJ is really smart. Okay.
Okay. Looks like we're done.
Building. Right?
Done with the activity at the bottom. So again, hover over Java, cursor right over Java, right click there. There you go. Run tests in Kata song. There you go. There you go. Run those tests.
When Kai, you can go on LinkedIn and add Java, and we'll endorse you.
That says tests were not received.
Rebuild the project.
Rebuild it.
See here. No, hold up. I think I forgot to commit first. The problem is between the chair and the keyboard. Okay. Give me a second here.
Yeah, you didn't push.
Look, management comes in and tells us what we did wrong. And then leaves. No solutions, no nothing.
No.
Okay.
Mark it on the clipboard, Jerry. Take away Scott's story points.
All righty. Yeah.
Here's story point for you.
Okay, so now you're going to want to do a pull. And you can probably use one of those tools at the top of the screen to pull if you wish.
Where can I do that? I know I can do it on the terminal, but can I just do it on IntelliJ?
Yeah, so on the upper bar of the, not quite so high, just a little bit higher so that menu doesn't come up. You'll see over on the right side the word Git and some different icons there.
Yep.
And I think that blue one, is that
update project?
Try that.
It depends.
Yeah, try the blue one to see if that pulls everything down.
If your branch is your remote is already set to his like, I think it should work because this looks like his right. So
okay, it's up to date now.
I don't see the change in code, honestly.
You can.
No, you go to the to that menu and pop up. I think it's something like
There will be a Git menu on top.
Yeah, it's a Git menu, and then it's like a Git. Can you open it up? I don't remember the UI.
Yeah, so go all the way to the top again and pop
The menu.
Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
window.
I saw the menu.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And you want to do a pull.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there you go. And pull that.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully that'll change the code there real quick.
Yes, same thing. So let me rerun it again.
You're on Canton Coders. I've got everything pushed.
Go into a song test. Why don't you go ahead and click on that song test? This is why mobbing is important. You don't sit alone by yourself. You have some people that actually do this. And double click on that file, song test. Let's just examine to see if the code's in there. The code is not in there. So why don't we understand why the code's not in there? So can someone go in the group, go look on the GitHub website to see if the code actually made it up there?
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
I know
the post office lost it.
No, I know who lost it. Hold on a sec.
Surely Scott Hammer didn't lose it.
Yes, I did, because I checked it in the main instead.
You're just doing code-based development. How progressive of you.
All right, hold on.
That's because Jerry told us to do it this way. Developers never make mistakes.
Okay, git merge main, and then I will remove that commit from main eventually here. Okay.
So on the bottom left, there is a Git command, and it's going to show you the history of the commits on the branch you are. And
try it one more time here. This should get it this time.
Hey, there we go. And it looks we got all the things, Scott. Congratulations.
All right. Yes.
So which file I should run?
Yeah, so you can go back down to the run at the bottom. So once you've got the test runner open, see that run menu right there, green triangle, hit that again, and that should rerun any tests that you got. And you have your test results. You may want to hit that little green, or not green, but the white check next to the green triangle. Click on that. So it shows the past results. There you go. Now you're good. All right. Okay, now we're, I think, in that position now. Your tests are running. We're in good shape here. So now we'll go back to song generator, I think is the file we started working in. Under main, there you go. And I think the next thing to do is go into that first stanza method, and we'll extract a couple of things out of that as well. So go down below, there should be the new first stanza private method.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and basically, I think what I would do here is probably extract these two strings into another method, each one. So there was an old lady swallowed a fly. Just highlight that string.
I'm sorry. So what are we doing here right now?
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple more method extractions here in this first stanza.
Okay.
So the first one we'll extract is this first line of the.
That's all.
Yeah. Not there, but down where you were at. So line 52. Highlight that whole string, and then right click on that.
Or two finger click if you're on Mac.
The other thing we can also do the option enter as well. So we want to get into the refactoring menu. You can do it this way. So get to refactor down below, extract method. And that doesn't work because you don't have the quotes included in your. So what you need to do is highlight the string, including the quotes.
Got it.
Okay. And then refactor, extract method. It got confused by that. Okay, there we go. And we could call it something simple like first line. Okay. So you'll need to fix that F in the front there. Yeah. So there's a way to do that rename so it renames both at the same time. We'll do that. We'll practice it on this next one. Okay, so in this case, what we want to do is highlight that and go ahead and grab that other back whack N down below too. So grab the rest of that stuff.
You want me to create another method for this line?
Yeah, let's extract.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this time before you, so start typing right there where you were at in get string. So go back up to see where you got a little square in red. Put your cursor in there. Put your cursor inside that square again. Yeah, just click right inside that square.
Click the R.
R?
Or the S. Yeah, just put your cursor back inside where the red square where it says get string. Click in there. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, now just start typing the new name.
Oh, okay,
So,
I see.
So just call it like last line.
Oh,
right?
sorry. Oh,
Okay.
I can't do that now.
Yeah. Okay. So now you'll have to, if you do a, you can do a right click and rename. So just put your cursor on that string again, that method name. Right. And then refactor rename.
Right.
There you go. And that puts you right back in there and just call it the second line.
I've worked with people that have been coding for over 20 years that don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do it. Yeah, the IntelliJ is really smart.
So you see how it just added those there. So we got that extra line feed there. I think that's pretty consistent throughout. So what we'll do is just delete that line feed. We're going to add it back in the second line method. So just delete it. Yeah. And just put a second backwack in within the string. You don't need to add it that way. Just add a /n within that string.
With quotation like this?
No, inside the quotes.
Okay.
Of the earlier string. So.
You mean like this?
Put an N in between those two slashes. So basically what you're doing is you're putting two line feeds at the end. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Now let's go down to our run menu. Let's run the tests again.
Add the semicolon.
Okay, we should still be green. Okay, that's cool. All right. Let's do a couple more real quick, and then maybe we'll switch. Did anybody else feel like volunteering? Now that we're in a groove. Okay, so let's go down to the bottom of this big string, and we're actually going to extract.
Sorry to interrupt you. What's the benefit of extracting the method instead of having a bunch of variables with the different strings?
Because we're going to take advantage of the fact that there's a lot of repetition in this. So if we extract those out, we're going to be able to reuse them elsewhere in the logic looking forward, right? So eventually we're going to get to a point like that first line. We're going to end up changing that method over time to make it support all the different places where that similar line appears. But just for now, we're going to extract it out into a method just so we know what it is. And we're going to do the same thing with this last stanza here, right? There was an old lady who swallowed a horse. She's dead, of course, because that one's different than the rest. So that one is going to be standing on its own.
Hey, Scott, and
okay.
looking at my watch, and I know it's getting late for some people. How long do you think you want to go tonight?
Uh,
Are we at a good pausing point?
It's up to the. We are, if we just want to pick this up next time. We have been going for almost an hour. I'm willing to go longer if people want to stick around. Otherwise, we can certainly pick this up the next week.
If you want to keep going, thumbs up in the Zoom chat.
Yes.
No, Scott, you count the votes.
Scott, you should be my professor. You are better than my professors.
Hey, we're streaming.
Oh, really? Already?
We're streaming, but you love your professors, right?
Yeah, I love my professors. Yes, but
and
this
you
guy is
enjoy the hands-on coding Scott's teaching you from 30 years of Indian industry.
yes, I like the pair programming. Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's go for another half an hour. Is that cool? And then anybody, you're welcome to stay. If it doesn't work out for you, it's okay to leave. You can always catch it on the replay or the recording as well. Don't want to keep people from their families, of course. Right? Here comes Ryan Peters. Welcome, Ryan. Okay. All right. Well, why don't we? Okay, so let's do a pair switch here. Okay. I will extract the next one, then you can extract the next one, and we'll go from there. Is that cool?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'll have you do is package up what you have as a commit. So if you grab the, see that green check mark all the way at the top of your IDE? I think that is your commit button. Boom. Well, here we got somebody else coming in. All right.
I think this person.
It's just starting to get like.
Yeah, I say don't announce
party
the names.
does.
Got to respect our privacy policy. But I think this person.
Sorry. Yes.
Oh, no worries. I know who that is. And Ryan, if you're mad at me, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Sorry, Scott. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's all right. I think, yeah, you'd probably just have to put a comment in here, basically saying what you did, maybe extracting for stanza, and then commit that and push. It'll give you a chance to push anyway. Checks failed. Oh, it's got some idea stuff in there.
Oh, he doesn't have a login with GitHub.
Oh.
Quit sharing your screen real quick. Quick, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, the dreaded glitch. So Venkai, you're going to have to create a GitHub account in order to push that change.
I have GitHub account. Yeah.
You do? Oh, maybe.
I just didn't connect it with IntelliJ. Yeah, just 1 second.
Hey, what language do they teach at optometry school?
Python and C++. I actually went to a community college, and that's where I learned Python and C++. In this school, I didn't learn any new languages.
They teach C# at the optometry school.
C#. Oh, okay. I was going to say C++, but
no, I say C++.
C++ is graduate level.
Actually, that was my first language, and I hate it. That's why I dropped out.
Is that what Superman's vision is? C++?
No,
I'm not sure.
I was going to say he uses reflection, but that's not true.
Yeah. All right.
He says it's logging in.
Did we kill enough time so when Kai could get that uploaded? By the way, Scott and I are thinking about starting a morning show for coding on your remote commute.
Let me share my screen again. Sorry. It says select files to commit.
It looks like the commit.
I don't think you did
get already happened.
Yeah, it doesn't allow me to click the commit button now.
Don't do me a favor, go to terminal.
Go to the terminal?
Yeah, the little terminal line down at the bottom. You can see a terminal menu down there.
Yep.
Click on that and type git status. Your branch is ahead, so you do have something to push. You want to try that?
It's not logging yet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the issue.
The permission is your repo set up, Scott, so anyone can push to main? It probably isn't.
It may not be. Okay, so I just have to, let me add you as a collaborator real quick here.
And GitHub may be blocking anonymous collaborators to main. You might have to add them to the team.
Add
Give me
people.
That's my name actually. Yeah.
There's a few Venkais out there. Okay. You want to give me your GitHub handle?
What do you mean by GitHub handle?
Your username for GitHub.
Yeah, it's Wenkai 10.
Venkai Tan.
Yeah, it's all capitalized.
There, I got you. Okay. Okay. Try it again now.
Okay.
You might be. Shoot, you might be good.
Did you log in with the terminal or did you log in with the GitHub client?
You may have to accept the invite.
Okay, 1 sec.
We're working through a lot of things here.
But this is normal, right? So if you're new to software development, you're looking at your first job. This is normal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's how we onboard new people onto the team, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why patience and a sense of humor, right, Scott?
Exactly.
Got any good dad coding jokes?
Oh my gosh. See, the problem with dad jokes for me is I can't remember any of them. That's why I have to have the app.
It's committed.
Oh, sweet. Excellent. All right, cool. All right. So I will take the share here real quick and I'll do a poll. Desktop. Okay, can you see me? Okay, thank you, Wenkai, for making that change for me. Looks like I got some idea stuff here. I don't know if it's going to hurt me or not. I'm going to run the test to make sure. It's cool. Approval test is still running. Let's get rid of this Git Ignore. It's not interesting anymore. Wow, that kind of rhymed a little bit, didn't it? Don't need that. Okay. So I promised we were going to extract this one down here. So let's pull this out here. Refactor, extract method. I could use those shortcuts here, but I didn't. So we're going to call this last stanza to keep consistent with the other one. Last stanza, there it is down there. Let's run the test, make sure we're cool. Boom. All right. Then what I think I'm going to do is take that out of there. And last stanza. I think I can now remove this. And that should sandwich first stanza and last stanza around this monstrosity here. Okay. Good, that's still working. And as far as last stanza, let's just do this pattern again. I'm going to try the alt enter thing here, extract method. Okay. And this is first line, we'll call it last stanza. This one's an outlier, so we may inline this thing again later, but for now we'll just create it. And then this one, alt enter, extract method, last line. Just for consistency, we'll just call it that. Okay, we've extracted those two, run it, boom. Okay, so we're good there. You want me to pass it back or continue with the next one? What do you think? Why don't I let you extract the next one then, Kai? Is that cool?
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, what we'll do is we'll extract this one out. We'll probably have to extract a couple methods here and name them, right? And then we can switch back, and then I'll extract this one. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. So let me do some things here real quick. Am I on the right branch? Yes, I'm on the right branch. All right. Have I committed yet? No, I haven't committed. Git commit -am. Okay. And I think I extracted the last stanza method. Okay. Have I pushed? Nope. Was push successful? It appears so. Okay. All right. That time I think I might have done it right.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do git pull.
So folks who are watching, of course, this first part here looks kind of boring. Looks like maybe it's not helping very much, but it's setting us up for some patterns that we can use to later make this a little bit better.
Do you know how can I close this site?
Click the flat line at the top next to the gearbox. Left. Go left 1/3, 2/3 of your screen. There you go.
All right, last stanza. Okay, those are there. Good.
So which line?
Yeah.
Do you want me to extract this line?
So you're going to take, all of that stuff. You're going to extract that out. Yeah. Everything down to 13. Yeah, is what you want. And maybe we can just call this something like, I think because that plus is in there. So if you, grab it from there. There you go.
I don't see refactor.
It's right above you.
Oh, right here.
And there you go.
What's the name?
And probably second stanza for now.
It doesn't pop up the method.
Try it again. Hit there it is, right in the center. Extract method. Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
It doesn't prompt me anything.
Maybe you can try the keys. Command Option M. Maybe?
I'm sorry.
I'm guessing you can try the keys. Like I think it's Command Option M.
Command and Option M. Let's see.
There's a light bulb. That is very odd.
I wonder if I wonder if IntelliJ doesn't think you would ever want to do this because of all the concatenation.
I might be unbinded. I don't know why it would be unbinded. But...
Yeah, I've done this kind of stuff before. I'm not sure why. Refactor, extract method.
You might have to show them how you did it back in the old days, Scott.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just copy and paste, right?
Okay, so here's another way to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, why don't we see where it says sb.append first stanza? Let's just add a line there, sb.append second stanza. Okay.
This line, right?
Yeah, we'll just duplicate that and then instead call second stanza as a method. So of course it's not going to compile because it doesn't exist.
Command B is going to duplicate the line.
Command B?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what do I need to do right now? Duplicate this method, right?
Yeah, just make a second call, change that to second stanza, Okay, that's not going to compile. So hit Alt Enter and create method second stanza. Boom. There you go. Okay, now we can cut that out. Do it the hard way, right?
By the way, it's a returning chart already, not a string.
It doesn't let me cut.
It's not letting you control exit. What?
No, it doesn't.
Option X.
Yeah,
Command-
Option X
Oh,
work.
Command X. Command
No,
X.
so I think
Okay,
it's
there we
Command X. That,
Yeah,
that
I'm-
means do the-
go. Yeah. Yeah, Command V, right? There you go. Okay, and just put a return in front of that string up there. Okay. What is wrong here?
It's
Why is
not a
this?
char array.
Yeah.
He's fixing it.
Oh yeah, string. Yeah, that should be a string. Yeah.
Look at the C sharp.
There you go.
The C programmer inside of you, Scott.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go up there and clean that up a little bit. And I think we're probably okay now. And let's run a
Okay.
test just to make sure we're cool.
Okay.
That's kind of wacky the way that was going there.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, good, good.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
getting there. So we need to create methods for each line right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
My Google box said indeed.
First
Okay,
line,
so
second stanza, right?
Now you're gonna have to go in and change it all over. You might want to undo all that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Scott, would you ever guess that one Kai is not a Java developer?
Yes, hell, he doesn't even know how to use IntelliJ. So obvious.
Scott, you work with a lot of Java developers in the last 20 years. One Kai's
Yeah.
on a good start.
you're doing fine, Kai. Or Wenkai.
Yeah, there
Thank
is
you.
this,
Wenkai.
you know, it could
I
people-
spoke some German earlier in my life, so every time I have a W, I think of it as a V. Okay, hold on a sec before we go too far here. Let's take a look at that first line, second stanza, and compare it to the first line one. So just scroll down below. There should be something called like first line, first stanza, or something like that. These things are all kind of in a different order. There it is,
Yeah.
first line. There was no lady who swallowed a horse. What about down below that? So there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. Okay, and it has a period at the end. So, you know, honestly, this one's looking a lot like this one, right? So I'm wondering if we can't do a change here to kind of reuse this method here a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah. So what's the
Okay.
difference here?
So we got like 3 different things. So okay, first originally you swallowed a spider, followed by semicolon.
Uh-huh.
And then you swallowed a horse, followed by 3 dots. Okay,
Yep.
I see some of these are pretty close. So it sounds like we could create something, a method that took in like an animal name and
Yep.
a piece of punctuation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So let's go down to the first line one down below. Okay. And right above that, let's make a copy of this method.
This
Okay.
method?
So we're gonna do a refactor in line here. Yep. And just finish it out. This time we're gonna give it a couple arguments.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And we want a string animal, right? And probably a string punctuation, right? Okay. And let's copy that same line for the return up in there for right now. Okay. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to change one of the things to use this method instead of, so we're going to change the first time we use this to use this method and pass in those parameters first time. Okay. So let's go back up to the top, near the top, at least to first stanza. Here it is on line 70-ish, 70. Okay. So pass in the strings for those two things. So I think we wanted fly as the first string and then period. Okay. And let's run it real quick just to make sure our tests are good still. This is where the tests really help us because they keep us honest.
Yep.
Now we're going to use a string format here. Okay. And yeah, replace fly with %s and replace the period with %s. So you'll have %s right in a row. Go ahead and pop those two in there and take away that space in between them. You don't need the reference to animal yet. Take that out. So you want %s with no spaces in between.
That's because you're going to do printf, right?
Yep. So now what we're going to do is return string.format. So we're going to use at the beginning of the return there before the quote, type the string class, capital S string dot format. Okay. And then remove that parenthesis there. Oh yeah, or just move it inside. Yeah, good. Okay, now comma, and we're going to pass those two parameters in. So at after the last quote, yeah, just comma and pass animal and punctuation. Okay, let's run it. Let's see if that works. Okay, we're safe. Good. Okay, cool. Now you can delete that method. Starts on line 80. We don't need it anymore.
One question, Scott. Why does it give us warning here? UNC.
It probably doesn't like the spelling of it. Most likely, it doesn't recognize the word.
He says it's always the.
Yeah. So
the parameter.
It should be
the constant. Right now, IntelliJ is too smart for its own good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now what we can do is we can go back to the last stanza, first line, last stanza. Let's replace that with a call to this first line. And this time we want to send, so line 57. Let's switch that. Take out the words last stanza and that method name.
You mean take the last stanza out?
Yep, take that out. And then we're going to pass in horse.
Horse?
So, and then another string, ... Boom. Okay, let's run our tests. Let's see if that fixed that. Okay, good. Okay, and then I think we have one more place. Oh, so now you see that first line last stanza is no longer used, line 65. You can delete that method. Yeah. Okay, and then of course there's the method we started working on here. So moving up a little bit. First line, second stanza, right? So we can replace that with first line, spider, and semicolon. Does that make sense? So
yes.
Actually line 45. Line 45 is where you want to do it. Yeah.
What's the animal called again? Spider, right?
Spider.
And period.
Semicolon in this case, it looks like.
Where semicolon?
See at the end of on line 53,
yes.
there's a semicolon at the end. Yeah. Okay. Now let's
delete
run the
these, right?
test. Well, run the test first, make sure we're cool. And then you should be able to do a safe delete of that. Yep, cool. All right, cool. So that's an example. So that was to explain to Jerry, you know, the reason we started doing that was what we're looking for is some of this repeatability or duplication to start to build up. And then when we start to see like 2 or 3 instances of it, then that's a good time for us to start to refactor it out, right? And then we use a real safe form of refactor there by just creating an alternate method and then slowly changing its use throughout. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
That's because, is it because this song has like duplicate lines? Like,
yeah, it's
okay.
got all kinds of duplication and patterns in this particular poem, right?
Okay, yeah.
And we're going to root them all out one at a time as we go through this. Okay. All right.
So let me
How
do
are
the
we on
next one.
time here?
It's 9:25, Scott.
Yeah.
If you'd like to land the plane, I totally understand.
Yeah, I think let's do one more. And we're going to do the last line of this. So starting on line 48, let's extract that. And this will be a good stopping point once we get this one going. Because
we have a duplicate down there.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah,
so,
and I think it's got, does it have the punctuation issue there too? Or let's see if it, let's go back up and take a quick peek up there to see if it has the same punctuation. It looks like it's the same line.
Yeah.
So I think you could just use that last or second line, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna
rename that sometime, but wait. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. No, I think that's good. I think it has the same animal in each one, honestly. So I don't think we need the animal and the punctuation.
Okay, got it.
So you can delete the method on 69, right, Scott?
Yeah, you can go ahead and delete that one. And we're gonna take that second line method. We're just gonna use it up there. So let's try to replace those. I don't think you need anything in there.
I thought you need to change these, no?
Yeah,
we don't.
It's the same exact line.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll replace that and that other background with second line. So remove the plus and the other line feed. There you go.
Actually, we do need this, right?
It should have a second line feed already in there. So I think
you're right.
Okay, let's run our test and see how that goes. And we're still green. Good. All right, cool. So this is a good place to pack it up. We're in a green test. We kind of have a sense of what we want to do next. Sometimes I might put a little to do on here, like you can do a / to do start here or something like that. And then we know where to pick up next time. But for now, I think we're in pretty good shape. And look, notice we're not doing any TDD yet because we aren't actually adding any new code. We're still refactoring for understanding, trying to get the pattern together. The end goal of all the stuff we're doing now is to make this very easily change, and then we'll add the new functionality sometime in the future.
Wonderful. So when Kai is going and pushing that up to our server, just thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Scott, thanks for doing this. Thanks for having patience with us tonight. And next Tuesday, if you're the one, we're gonna do this one again, right, Scott?
Yeah, should be able to do that.
Cool. And if you're new to Canton Coders, we're a nonprofit. Everything we do is free. Join us at slack.cantoncoders.org. We do it because we want everyone to be happy with code. We don't care really much more than are you happy with code, and we plan to never charge for anything that we do. Scott's paid in story points.
Yeah.
By the way, his story points went up 10% today, while the S&P 500 and all the stock went down 5%. So
yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah, I need my beer prices to go down in order to make up for that.